Hi, I'm Devastation. I'm a board certified lactation consultant, and I've been in the birth and lactation world for 5 years now. And today I wanted to talk to you about a really common question that I hear a lot, and that is, how can I get more sleep if I am nursing or if I'm pumping? Now, a lot of people think that pumping a bottle ahead of time and letting their partner or their parent or their postpartum doula offer that bottle while when baby wakes up during the night is a good way for them to get more sleep. However, you have to pump each time baby has a bottle in order to maintain your milk supply. So, how do you go about that? There are a few different ways that you can um, kind of get more sleep without sacrificing your milk supply. But it's going to probably take a partner or a postpartum doula or a friend, someone to really be a partner, a team member with you, so to speak, in baby care at night. So, what does that look like? You can anticipate baby's next feed and pump ahead of time before they're going to wake up. So this is particularly useful when babies have that long stretch of sleep early in the evening. So sleeping through the night is actually considered about 5 to 6 hours. And that's really the longest you should ever go without removing milk per 24 hours. So just that one 5 to 6 hour stretch is going to be okay. Your milk supply should not suffer from that as long as it's only happening once a day. So if baby goes to sleep around 7 or 8 and then wakes up again around 1 to 2:30, 3 o'clock, I can't do math, 1 or 2, um, and you didn't go to bed until 10 or 11, then you've missed that whole long stretch of sleep that baby already had. And I know lots of people say sleep when baby sleeps, but that doesn't seem feasible a lot of the time. I mean, especially in the evening, if you've had a long day taking care, keeping someone else alive, especially if you have older kids, or a job, outside of the home, it can be really difficult. And once that baby is asleep, you might want to do things for you. You might feel pressure to keep up with housework, or you just want to sit on the couch and read a book or watch a show or just scroll on your phone, any of those kinds of relaxation kind of things. So it would be cutting into you time if you were to go to bed at that 7 or 8 o'clock or even 9 o'clock when baby goes to bed. So what you can do is anticipate what time baby will be waking up for that next feed. And before you go to sleep, get in a good pump session. Remove as much milk as you can. Even do, some breast massage, hand expression. I have another video on how and when to hand express that can be really helpful. Um, so anticipate that feed, pump before you go to bed, and ask that your partner gets up with baby to do that initial feeding, that first middle of the night feed, so that you can sleep through, get some rest. So then you may get that longer stretch of sleep, just slightly offset from baby's longer stretch of sleep. And then you can, pump for the next feed if you're exclusively pumping and feed baby, or you can just pump and your partner can feed baby, or it's lots of ors. You have lots of options. Um, you can nurse baby with that next feed. If pumping is not something that you want to do, you can absolutely do something similar with nursing. So you can't really nurse baby, you know, and have your partner, um, like you can't take your breasts off and have your partner do it, you know. Um, but what you can do is do a dream feed. So if baby's in that longer stretch of sleep earlier in the evening, you can do a dream feed, which is where you don't wake baby up fully. You just kind of, when they start moving around, if you notice they're in a lighter stage of sleep, before you go to bed, get them and nurse them while they're still asleep. Babies will latch on as soon as they smell the breast. They'll latch on and they should get a good feed. And that way baby is not waking up, and you might be able to extend that stretch of sleep so you get a good block also. Also, you could have your partner agree to wake up when baby wakes up and bring baby to you so you can nurse. And then they take baby from you and do the burping, the diaper change, and all that kind of stuff and rock baby back to sleep while you go right back to sleep as soon as you're done nursing. That is a great option. And if they can sit up with you and kind of just hang out with you, maybe talk quietly, while you're nursing. um, with my biggest fear, and something that happened a lot actually, was I would fall asleep while nursing him. And I will get to that a little bit later about how to set up a safe sleep environment for the times that that does happen. Because I feel like no one really plans to sleep in bed with their baby. No one plans to fall asleep while nursing, but these things do happen and you want to do it safely and kind of reduce the risk as much as you possibly can. So we will talk about that in a little bit. Um, so it can be really helpful if your partner or your doula or your mom or your friends, someone can stay up and talk with you. I know that's a time that lots of moms are on social media trying to get support with other parents who are in the same situation. Um, so that can help. Also, sideline nursing. This is another great option. So, if your partner can bring baby to you, if you have this safe sleep environment that we're going to talk about in a minute, you have this safe sleep surface, your partner can bring baby to you and you can sideline nurse. And you can go back to sleep while baby is nursing, while your partner or your doula or your friend just kind of keeps watch, makes sure everyone stays safe, and then they can take baby back from you, do a burp, and put baby back in their sleep, environment, their crib, pack and play bassinet, whatever setup you have. Um, those are great options that allow you to get a little bit more sleep. So let's talk about safe sleep environments. There is a great book called Sweet Sleep, and I will share a little bit from the La Leche League International website. First, I'm going to show you this Safe Sleep 7. So, this is a basic like little infographic here. Let's make it look like I can see what I'm doing. Um, this Safe Sleep 7, um, it's the criteria for setting up the safest bed sharing situation that you can. So no smoking. No one in the family should be smoking around baby. The parents, especially the nursing parents, should not be smoking. Um, Sober parents. No one who is drinking or taking medications that cause you to be sleepy. No sleep medications. Um, and what does it say? Nursing mother. So this is not recommended. Bed sharing is not recommended at all for formula feeding parents. Breastfeeding parents tend to have those instincts a little bit stronger to be aware of where their baby is. And keep baby at their breast level as opposed to up higher closer to their face, which would be where the parent's pillow is. So keeping baby at the breast level actually keeps baby safer because they are away from the pillow that could be, a smothering hazard. So bed sharing is only recommended, if not recommended. Um, but safer sleep guidelines require the parent to be nursing. Baby should be healthy and full term, and baby sleeping on their back. So once they're done nursing, baby should always be turned fully toward you, belly to belly, while nursing, and then they roll back onto their back to sleep. No swaddling, no heavy blankets, and a safe sleep surface. So that is a bed without heavy blankets. It is not a recliner. It is not a couch. Most of the times that babies are injured, um, due to sleeping with a parent is not on a bed. It is generally in a recliner or on a couch because the smothering and the fall risks are much greater. Um, Baby should sleep between the nursing parent and a rail, not the wall. Baby should not sleep in between a nursing parent and a non-nursing parent because the non-nursing parent is not going to be as fully aware of where the baby is, um, like as the nursing parent would. So these are, the basics of setting up a safe sleep environment for safer bed sharing. Now, this is not me endorsing bed sharing. This is me kind of sharing information with you so you can discuss with your baby's doctor and with your partner, with your family members, and so you can make sure these things are in place in case you fall asleep with your baby in the bed. No one ever plans to do it. Like I said, I fell asleep so many times with my first because I was dead set on not having him in bed with me, and I was so very afraid of him dying. And I would sit up on my bed and nurse him, and then I would wake up because I was fully slumped over on top of him. And like I was still holding him, I was still sitting up, but like I felt like I was going to smother him with my breasts. And it was terrifying. And then trying to walk him back to his crib while I was so exhausted in the middle of the night. And I thought I was going to drop him. And it was just not a safe situation. And once I figured out and I learned about safe bed sharing, we both got more sleep. And it kind of alleviated my fears, because he was right there with me. I could feel him breathing. I could feel him moving. I was much more responsive to him. Um, so that's just my personal experience. Like, let me throw up my little disclaimer here that none of this is medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you to bed share. I'm telling you how to be safe about it, um, in the case that it happens. Like the La Leche League website says, I will pull that up here. Um, for those who say they don't need to prepare their bed for bed sharing because they'll never ever do it, think about car accidents. No one ever expects them to happen either, but they do. That's why we wear seatbelts. It's not that we're planning to have an accident, it's that accidents are never planned. So we plan ahead and we don't give it another thought. Simple and safe, or as safe as being in a car can get. A planned ahead bed is just a seatbelt. Then at 3 a.m., when your baby just can't sleep alone, even though you've tried everything up, down, and sideways, you can collapse in bed with your baby and stay there snugly until morning. Tomorrow morning, you can decide what you want to do tomorrow night. Life is risky no matter how you live it. A safe bed, like a seatbelt, can greatly reduce that risk. And then we'll take a look at some of the key points for safe sleep for all babies. And I will link this because it is a quite lengthy article. So I will link it below if you want to go and read the full text. Key points for safe sleep for all babies. Stay smoke free, stay sober, stay off sofas, upholstered chairs, and recliners for sleep. Keep your healthy baby lightly dressed on his back and near you for sleep. And of course, keep breastfeeding. But what about all the warnings against bed sharing? If you meet the criteria outlined in the Safe Sleep 7, then you're not the mother the warnings are for. Only a small subset of babies with certain pre-existing vulnerabilities are at risk for SIDS. The risk for SIDS or suffocation is far, far greater in a household where the mother smokes, where alcohol or drugs are involved, where the baby is formula fed, or in truly chaotic settings where the baby sleeps who knows where or with who knows whom. What? Or in truly chaotic settings where the baby sleeps who knows where or with who knows whom. See Chapter 19. In an attempt to reach certain mothers and protect certain babies, the warnings have been made very clear, very strong, and very simple. The answers for you are just as simple. The key points for applying the key points. This is great how this is written. And I believe that this is actually excerpted from Sweet Sleep. Every situation is different. Life is never 100%, and everyone balances risks and benefits differently. Take the information we present and use your mother wisdom to decide what's best for you, your baby, and your family. All those scary warnings are about only the first 4 months. Beyond that, even the researchers behind the bed sharing cautions agree that by 4 months, bed sharing by any responsible non-smoking adult is as safe as having your baby sleep separately in a bassinet or crib. If you and your baby fit the Safe Sleep 7 criteria, your baby's risk of SIDS is what one sleep researcher calls vanishingly small, and you'll virtually eliminate overlying and other suffocation risks. The Safe Sleep 7. If you are 1. A non-smoker, 2. Sober and unimpaired, 3. A breastfeeding mother and your baby is 4. Healthy and full term, 5. On his back, 6. Lightly dressed, and you both are 7. On a safe surface. Then your baby in bed with you is at no greater risk from SIDS than if he's in a nearby in a crib. The Safe Surface Checklist explains number 7 and practically eliminates breathing risks no matter where he sleeps. Rolling over on your baby is virtually impossible because you have the Cuddle Curl, see above, and responsiveness of a breastfeeding mother. By the time the baby is about 4 months old, research indicates that bed sharing with a healthy baby by any responsible non-smoking adult on a safe surface is as safe as any other sleep arrangement. So let's go up and look at the Cuddle Curl. I don't know if there is actually an image of this. Do not see it. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Even though most new breastfeeding mothers today don't plan to bed share, studies show that eventually 60 to 75% of them will at least some of the time. So that's a good enough reason in my mind to at least teach how to safely bed share, is that it happens even if you don't plan to. One of the big reasons that bed sharing is safer when you're breastfeeding is the way you position your body next to your baby. During sleep, you'll automatically go to the same position as breastfeeding mothers all over the world and throughout time. It's called a cuddle curl, and it's nature's way of protecting a baby during sleep. Your knees come up and your arm tucks under your head or pillow and curls around your baby, creating a protected space. There's no way for you to roll toward your baby because your bent legs won't let you, and no one else can roll into the space because your knees and elbows are in the way. Very cool. If you're worried about your partner, just sleep between your partner and the baby. Even during sleep, a breastfed baby will instinctively stay with his face near the breast because that's the center of his universe and his kitchen. If your baby homes in on your breast, he's not going to wander up into the pillows or down under the covers, and your arm and legs won't let him. There's another layer of protection too. Normally, we're aware of the edges of our bed and the bodies of our pets, even when we're sound asleep. We don't roll over on a baby any more than we roll off the side of the bed or roll over on the cat. And of course, both the cat and the baby would react if you tried. Don't try to roll on your cat or your baby. A mother who has never breastfed loses some of these protections. She tends to move her baby closer to her own face, where those puffy, smothery pillows are, and a baby who doesn't breastfeed is more likely to wander up there himself, even if the bottles are filled with his mother's milk. What if you're still working out the kinks, maybe pumping for a baby who isn't nursing yet? A newborn will automatically seek his mother's breast. If you've been focused on helping him breastfeed, you'll probably find yourself doing a cuddle curl at least at first. If you breastfeed most of the time but give occasional bottles of pumped milk, you'll probably still sleep in a breastfeeding cuddle curl, and your baby will most likely stay at chest level. But if either of you sees a bottle as the more important food source, you and your baby may not automatically think breast, and your bed sharing risk may increase. If you're just not sure, think carefully about how you cradle your baby when you lie down, and maybe have your partner watch how you interact before you decide for or against bed sharing. So that's about back where we were, where we started. So I will link that article below, and hopefully it is helpful for you in kind of deciding what is best for your family. Again, this is not medical advice. This is not really sleep advice. Let me see. Put my disclaimer back up there. This is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you to bed share. I am telling you to make your sleep situations as safe as possible in the case that it may happen, because we don't generally plan on it, especially with first babies. We the back to sleep alone in a crib marketing and messaging is very, very strong and very scary for new parents. I know it was for me, but I didn't realize that there was a safer way for me to get more sleep, and that it wasn't necessarily endangering my baby to do those things safely. What I was trying to do to so strictly follow that alone back to sleep in a crib, those ABCs that, the posters are in every OBGYN office. I was so strictly trying to follow that I was actually putting my baby in more danger by trying to sit up and feed him in the middle of the night in my bed or on a rocking chair while I was falling asleep. Like, that just wasn't safe for anyone. So hopefully this is helpful. If you have other ways, other tips on getting more sleep while as a nursing or pumping parent, I would love to hear them below. Really, it comes down to teamwork. If you're a solo parent, it is so worth hiring a postpartum doula. Even if you're not a solo parent, still worth hiring a postpartum doula. Someone whose job it is to make those first few weeks, even a couple of months postpartum, easier for you to transition to. There are some doulas who only do overnights, who are there to help facilitate those nighttime feedings and get you more sleep. So that is so, so worth it. That is a great option. And um, hopefully, it's something that you can look into, discuss with your partner. It's so worth it. Um, yeah, I'm going to end the video here. And let me know if you have questions. If you like this video, I'd appreciate you hitting the thumbs up and subscribing if you want to see more from me. And I will see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye.